Hey there, this is Michael Hensen, and today I'm going to help or try and help show you how to use Canva to use well to create your graphical assets for the live show for Fringe Festival. But you can apply the same thing, of course, to any other show you may have or promotion. So to start off, you go to canva.com and it should come to a screen like this, and you're going to want to, if you don't already have an account, create an account. But if you have an account, you'll come over here to the left side, and then I've already started a project. But come to projects, and then you just click on the project to start. Now, if you haven't, come here to file, and you can create a new design. And you can see right here, this is the requirements for the actual poster. So it's 2145 by 2700 pixels. It's kind of close to a standard 8.5 by 11, I think, or 11 by 17. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start with create a new design because we're going to do it from scratch. And we're going to do custom size, and we're going to put those right here. Requirements. So 2145, I believe that's it. Yes, 2145 by 2700. Create new design. And then it's going to bring you a blank page. Now, to start, there was a template that was sent over. And if I go to uploads, it's right here. And all I did was, if you weren't able to save it out, you can use a screenshot to do a screenshot to get this actual, template, so that you can upload it. If you're not familiar over here with the different areas, but if you look, you got design, elements, uploads, text, projects, and apps. And you would just come to upload section and hit upload files, and then come to wherever the screenshot is. I usually save them to my desktop, and then come and highlight the actual file. And this is just an example, and then hit open. But the file is here, and we've brought it in. And so the only issue here is that it's not the exact size that we need it to be. So to resize it, we're going to go ahead and pull this down. And now it'll be the full size of the actual, the file itself. And then what we can do is kind of just center it up a little bit by hitting the cursor keys. And now it's coming down. And now it's about exactly where it needs to be. So to start quickly, to get these items on here, we're going to go to text, and then you can come over here and pick text items that you think you might want to use in these designated text field areas. So I'm going to pick one with effects, but as you can see, some of these have crowns on them. Those are for the pro account. It doesn't matter. You don't need the pro account. You just have to look for one that has nothing on it. In other words, no icon. So this one right here, Fun Does, might not be the right color. But you want to scroll down and look for something that is, in other words, according to what graphical look you're going for. So this one's kind of simple, right? So I'm going to go ahead and pick this because it has a background and everything. Yeah, the only problem with this is this has the tilt. I probably don't want that. So let's go up here then and pick this fun one. And we're going to put that where show title is. And we're going to shrink it down just a little bit. And we'll put it right in the middle. And then we're going to come look for another text object. And these are all graphical ones, but if you keep scrolling down, you'll see you have more plain style text ones. And that's what we're going to use for these areas. So you have multiple, types of, text styles here. But we're going to pick one that kind of makes sense. And so this one right here, I think, is probably one of the better ones. And so we're going to just take this and we're going to stretch it out to all on one line. And then we're going to come place that here. And then we can find something very similar, or we can just use the same thing. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use the same thing. So to quickly get the next two text items, and if you see there's still another text here, you want to right click on this and hit ungroup and then delete that text item. But now we have one single line of text right here, right? But we want two more for this. So we're going to just hit duplicate. And one more time, duplicate. I'm going to pull those text items down to the area in which they can go. Just like that. And now, because these are also like a lighter text, not as bold, maybe we want to do the same thing. So we're going to come here and we're going to look for a font that is more like that. And here's one called Glacial Indifference. So I'm going to go ahead and use that for the two venue, show time and date. Okay, so now that we have all of this and we got our areas pretty much lined up, we want a background graphic that we're going to use. So we're going to come to uploads, and it's kind of good to use a high quality, high res photo that's kind of already in the 2000 pixel range if you can. So if you have something like that, just go to upload and then go ahead, go to your documents or pictures folder and select the image and then hit open. I have a main image that I use a lot. It was my iTunes image that I've used for a lot of different promotional things. It's right here. So I'm going to use that image. And now it actually seems to be in the right place. And I was going to say, usually you have to push it back, but it looks like the text is all on top. So we're just going to stretch the image out to the whole length of the poster. And it looks like everything looks good to me so far. Now we want to make sure that these text items are in the right areas. So I'm going to show you. Over here is the transparency, and if you come here and bring it down, you can see what's underneath your image. And we can still see that the title's here. And if you don't lock this bottom image, which we can do, now it's locked, we should be able to grab any of these text items and move them. But maybe now I've locked the text items all together. So I'm going to have to unlock them. Okay, I want to just make sure that the background is selected and then hit lock. Okay, so now these text items should be free. And it looks like they aren't. They're locking too. So maybe I'm not aware of how the lock function works with this. I'm more used to Photoshop. But anyway, now you can see that all this stuff is in line where it needs to be. Right? And then we're going to select the background image and turn it up. But the problem is it's covering, part of the image where you probably want, So what you can do is move these text items a little bit if you need to. But let's just put in the show time and the date. So it's going to be 04, 07, 2023, and time 10:30 p.m. Now we want to change this font color to something we can see. So I'm going to make sure, come up here, change the text or font color. And then it's still kind of, you can't see it really well. So we want to add an effect to it, like a drop shadow. So we're going to come to effects, like I just did, come to drop shadow. And then here's the direction. So that's how much the distance is with the shadow off of the back. And then there's the offset. But the transparency way down, so we want to bring that up so you can see it. And of course, it's showing up now as white, so we want to make sure that it's a dark color. You can use whatever color you want to match your graphic, and you can come here and use this pin drop tool to actually grab a color from your photo so that it's color oriented. In other words, color matching if you want. But I'm just going to use black for now. So black is selected. And you can see now, you can see the text. But we can also change the direction, which I kind of like it being on the right side, which I think it is. Yeah, this side is the right side. And offset, you can really pull it up and you can really, now you can see it better. So that's good. Now, if you had two dates here, you could go ahead now and duplicate this and then delete the bottom one. But we only have one, so I'm going to delete this one and this one. And now this is the venue. So we're going to just type in main stage. We're going to change this to alignment to this side. And then we're going to change the text color again to white. And now I'm going to pull, actually using effects, create shadow, and I'm going to pull a color by hitting here, add new color, hitting the eyedropper, and pull a color from the poster. And I'm going to use this darker blue. And then right here you can adjust it and make it darker if you want, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come all the way to the right. And that's it, and then click off. So now you can see it's that color. And then we're going to pull the transparency all the way up again. And let's see, I'm going to change the direction. And then the offset, stronger there. I like the way that looks, so I'm going to keep that. And now we need to change the title to what it needs to be. So this, I'm calling mine The Never Ending Summer. And as you see, is because of the text size and font is so big, it drops down, but we're going to just stretch it. And now it's on 2 lines, but it's way too big. So we're going to size this down. And we're going to put that right here at the top. Now that color scheme isn't really matching my poster. So we're going to double click on it. And you can see here, the font color actually is this outline effect. So if we wanted to change that and we want it to be dark, we just change that to black. And then it seems like the effects color is the background, which seems to be the prominent color in this actual effect. But let's say we don't want that. Let's change this whole thing up. We're just going to use a regular drop shadow version, right? So now we got black text and a black shadow. And we're going to come here and we're going to pick a color again from the poster. Use the eyedropper. And now I'm going to use a light blue. And there you go. So now we got to go back to effects and we're going to bring the transparency up again. I'm going to hit the offset to be like that, or I'm sorry, direction. And then we're going to pull the offset up so it's darker. And as you see, now you can see it better. And then because this is still too big, I'm going to make sure this appears all on one line. And then we're going to shrink this down. And truthfully, maybe it should be on 2 lines. So we can come in here and hit 2 lines, shrink this up, and then we can also make it bigger again. But that looks about good. I'm going to bring this to center. And you might even be able to change, let's see, line spacing. Here we go. Right, so we can reduce the distance between the heading, the line spacing. And there, it's tighter. So there we go, we have the title. And now you can see text is still in the way here. But I'm going to pull up the main stage just a little bit so it makes sense, but doesn't look off. And then we're going to pull this date up. And what we can do is shrink this down. And there you go. It's fine now. You want to try and make sure that these texts are aligned here on the, I'm making them aligned on the right side. So that looks about right. And what I might want to do to create some more space is enlarge my image a little bit. So we can do that by pulling down on the corner a little bit. And then you can just recenter your image. Now you can take this text item maybe and bump it up just a little more. And there you go. So now it looks about right, I think. We can even pull this text down just a little bit, maybe. To me, that looks pretty decent. And now we might want to take off so we have a little bit more room to do some text stuff down here at the bottom. So we're going to come to crop. And we're just going to pull up on the bottom a little bit, cut off some of the image. Okay. Now the image itself has been cropped. We have a little bit more area here. Now you can still see the template behind. You can do two things. You can delete it by hitting right click and delete. But we could also just highlight it and bring it to 0 transparency in case we want to check it sometime. So now we're at 0. And now we can take and create some other elements down here. And what I did on mine, if we look, and just to shorten this video up, I put the Fringe logo down here, and then I had 3 icons here, World Wide Web icon, IG, and then TikTok, and I put the text down. So you could easily do that. But I'll show you how to do that in here real quick. All right, so we'll pull this over. Come to uploads, and if you don't have those icons, you just type in Google, and I'll just show you real quick. IG icon. And you pick one you like. It's best to have like a PNG with a transparent background. And see, this one says PNG. And you can see it's a very clean, icon. You can just pull that right over. Usually you can. So what I found is you have to pull it from here. I used to. I don't know why it didn't work. But anyway, come over here and come to uploads and then hit upload. And then select the icon and open it. But we already have them in there, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and place them. Click on the IG icon and it comes up. You want to shrink it down. And we need a little bit more room, so about that size. Now we can cursor key and bring it to where we want. Maybe a little bit further over. And now we want a text item that we find appealing that will kind of look good down at the bottom. I'm going to use that same text. So we're going to use this one right here. And of course it's white, so before it gets lost, you want to change the color. And then come over here and type in your IG account. Right. Now, of course, that text is too big, so we're going to shrink it down. And I forgot, we still have a small text item underneath. What you want to do, ungroup, highlight that little text item, and hit delete. So now we have a single text item. And now, to save time, we're going to do the same thing again. Duplicate twice, because we're going to put 2 entries down here. Like that. And say this one's going to be a website. So we're going to go www.ourwebsite. And then for this one, maybe your TikTok or your YouTube channel, if you have a short link. But there's my 3 addresses, right? So this is a little bit big. I'm going to shrink it down, just like that. Like that. Now we're going to come to uploads and we're going to look for the other icons. There's TikTok icon. Shrink it down, bring it over here. Right? Now we're going to move it to the right place by using the cursor keys. It's moving slower. There we go. And we're going to shrink that text up a little bit. And now you see up here, if you want to make them all the same, which we can do, that's 50. They're all close to 50. So I'll come up here and just go here to the box, type 50 in. You want to make them all the same size. 50. 50. So now all the text items are the same exact size. And now we can pull in the one icon for the web-based. I forgot that one has the background. This one might need to crop because it has white space, so we're going to get rid of the white space by cropping it. Do the same thing all around. And so now we have a smaller white space. And the reason why that is, when you shrink it down, you want it to be still as big as possible without having too much around the edges. And there we go. Now, to me, the way this looks, I probably should have put it up top or bottom, so I'm going to do that with the World Wide Web. We're going to put the TikTok on top. That's why I did it on the other one the other way. There we go. So there you go. You got the 3 items. And we can make those a little bit tighter looking probably and line them up a little bit better. And now the only thing we're missing is the Fringe logo, and we're going to go ahead and come over here. And if you haven't uploaded it, you save it to your drive. Like here, go to upload files and go to your documents again and grab the Fringe logo from wherever it is. I think I might have it in downloads. But it's already here. So if you don't, if you haven't upload it, but I have it right here. So we're going to bring that down and shrink it up to where it fits and makes sense. And now we have a poster done and ready. So you want to just double check and make sure all your elements are good. I like this, but I probably would change this font and make this a little bit better looking. But we're going to go ahead and export this now. So I'm going to come here to share, go to download, and here you can select the different types. So PDF is good for print and stuff. I don't know what the recommended is for this, but you can definitely select JPEG. And here's your quality. If you want it to be the highest quality, you slide this all the way to 100% and then hit download. This is going to be probably the most space efficient, although sometimes PDFs are small too if they're, but then you go and look for your file, and then we can just double check it by pulling it out onto the desktop. Go open and preview. And to me, in the poster size, it looks pretty good. So now we have an image that's ready to be sent over. I appreciate it if you check out this video. If you have any comments, please leave them below. If you have any more requests for a video or something you might want to do and have a question, maybe I could create a video for that if you need. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.